Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm back here with another video, and it's story time. So what I'm going to talk to you about today, guys, is be aware of when you're going to buy a used Tesla from a car dealership. Now, this was kind of a great deal to pass up. My mother-in-law, she basically fell in love with my Tesla, and she wanted her own Tesla. So a few this was back in, I believe, February. She out of the blue said she's going to look into getting a Tesla. So she found one uh, over here in Florida, Hialeah. We booked an appointment to go over there to see it. I believe it was 31K for uh, 20 20,000 miles or so. 2024 Model Y. Okay, good. We scheduled an appointment. I take her up there. It takes about 45 minutes to get there. Reached there around after 1 o'clock. We're thinking we're going to get out of there in a jiffy. But boy, were we wrong. So we go inside. We sit down with the salesperson. We ask that, do you have, it shows that you have this Model Y here. Can we look at it? So here was the first issue. Then, since they're not really too fond on Tesla, and this was the only Tesla they had on the lot, it took them about maybe 15 minutes because it's a huge lot to find the Tesla. They didn't know where it was at. So we had to wait a while. And so while we're waiting, we're chit chatting. We see a car come around. It's dirty. So obviously it's just been sitting there for months. And we're looking at it like, wow. Okay, so we check the car out. The tires are almost bald as well too. And so we get in, we check out the vehicle. We have the salesperson with us. I guess this is like his first time also, driving fully in the car because he was struggling to use the key card to get in and take it to us. So we get in. It has full self driving, but subscription version. We thought it had the full FSD on there, but sadly it didn't. It would have been a greater deal for that price. So we get in. I enable FSD because this is the first time the salesman has ever seen a Tesla drive itself, and he was pretty impressed, asking us questions, well, asking me questions on it, and he was more intrigued on, you know, probably getting a Tesla because one of his friends has one. So we drive around, let's say around like probably a mile in a block radius, come back in. We're pretty happy, no issues or anything with the car other than it being dirty and the tires you know, not fully healthy. Go inside. And so this is where the problem, well, the second problem begins. Sales department is a pain in the butt. I kid you not. So we get here around a little around after 1 o'clock. Long story short, with the time here, we leave around 8 p.m. Now, this is the reason why us Tesla owners or Tesla buyers love going through Tesla themselves. No hassle, nothing. You order your car, pick whatever you need to pick. It gives you a delivery date. Bada boom, bada bam. You go out there, pick up your car, inspect it, whatever, and pick it up, and you're good. You don't really have to talk to anyone, but they like to greet you, whatever, show you to your car, and that's about it. Now, buying from a car dealership is just as bad as when you find a car online, brand new or whatever. You see the price that you see that, and then you go in there and you come out with a more expensive car because they want to haggle you with all this and that add-ons and whatever, and it's annoying. So back to the story. Uh, the sales department, my mother-in-law already has, her APR locked in with another bank, and the salesman is like, "Oh, we can get it down even further than that. I can make a couple of calls." He makes a couple of calls, keeps coming back, and it's not matching what he said it would. And I'm like, we're at this point we're ready to go, but they just keep stringing you along, saying they can get a better deal. They print out some paperwork showing us, here's the rate that we can get you at. Um, we can get it by tomorrow and all this other stuff, and it just keeps dragging and dragging. And then after probably 2 hours or so, we finally get a decent deal. Okay, we think we're in the clear. So after the salesperson, you know, gets that deal done, then we go to another office inside there. And then this is where you make the payment. So we go inside there. All of a sudden, the numbers that he gave us changes when we get to the next office. So then we're back at square one again. We're making calls, or they're making calls. One thing I do not like is instead of having everything set up in one little office, they have to go back out. Like even simple things like to print paperwork, they have to leave the office, go out to the floor, chit chat, whatever, then come back, and then all this just adds up and adds up time. So again, my mother-in-law is about to quit because they're bringing back numbers that was higher than they previously said, and I was getting upset as well too because right now it's around 5 o'clock. It's starting to the sun is starting to set. I'm hungry. We're hungry. So finally, the manager comes in. The big manager of the building comes in and says, "Okay, I'm going to do this for you." So he brings down the price basically for what my mother-in-law had from the start. If they would have done that from the start, we would have been out of there within probably like 2 hours, and even that's long enough for me. So they get the numbers in. We finally sign the paperwork, and then guess what? After we leave, we have to go to another office inside there to deal with insurance. So the insurance office has to call whatever insurance you want. They call. They have to be put on wait. Then you have to wait. Then they negotiate the plans and all that, and it was a hassle. We get through with that. Finally, get through with that. We go outside. They clean the car for her. At this point, it's around 7:45 p.m. It's dark outside. Um, the car is all right charge. I think it was around 40 or 30%, good enough to get back home and whatnot. So we get in the car. Everything is good. So this is where it turns into a nightmare. The next morning, well, not yeah, the next morning we go to help her, my mother-in-law, to charge the car. We show her how to plug it in and whatnot. Um, and we were trying to set up the account for her as well, but right now we just plug it in, charge, and then everything is great. Everything is great. Charge. She goes back home and she does signings for like notary. So we get a call. She's driving over to the notary area, and then she parks, and then she calls us and saying that, oh, there's a they put in the pin to drive. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So what we found out is, even though the car was sold to the dealer, the previous owner still had access to the Tesla, and this is why Tesla needs to fix this this situation. Once the car is sold, it should show on the system that it's sold to a dealership, and it should automatically disable every function to the previous owner, and then it will be updated once a new owner buys the car. So the nightmare continues. We try to find the owner, so we call the dealership. The dealership reaches out to the owner saying, "Oh, can you disable pin to drive? Your car is sold." Blah blah blah. And so he disables it. Then everything is cool. We go to charge again. It won't charge. So come to find out, the car is still not removed under his name. We had to call Tesla. Tesla had to go. We had basically at the end of the day we had a three-way call between Tesla, my mother-in-law, and the dealership. The dealership, again, because they're not, no, they're not knowledgeable in Tesla. They kept saying that they did this and that when they really didn't. So Tesla had to walk them through it. Finally, got the person removed from the account. My mother-in-law was able to create her own account, put the card on file, blah blah blah, and basically everything was cleared. So I know it's kind of a long story, but this is what I need to tell you guys. If you decide to go that route, make sure that you have full access to the car before driving it off the lot. Check with the dealer, especially if it's not a car. If it's their first electric car, it's going to be an issue. So yeah, that's it for my story, guys. For whoever stayed to the end, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Would you ever buy a used Tesla from a dealership or a used Tesla from Tesla themselves, so you don't have to go through what we went through? Thanks for watching my video. Peace.